Hello, everyone. Hope all is well. This is AJ with Chase the Narrative, and today we're going to talk about recruiting. So, as a former recruiter, I'm going to talk to you guys about the recruiters that lie, the recruiters that don't, and we're going to check out like a couple of videos, and these people are going to explain their experiences with recruiting. So, for those that are looking to join the Army, those that are looking to become future veterans, I got you. Let's start the show.
Recruiters are gonna lie to you. The goal is to get you in. I can guarantee you 90% of recruiters are gonna tell you to lie about something.
He's wrong about that. That's the only thing he's wrong about in this video because I watched it beforehand. 100% of recruiters going to tell you to lie at MEPS. And the reason why we're going to tell you to lie at MEPS is essentially for the simple fact that if they catch you with something, that's either going to disqualify you for life or it's going to prolong the process. So the less you tell MEPS or the less that MEPS has to find out about you, the better off you'll be. And on a serious note, we do have people that are in like situations that they're like, hey, I don't have nowhere to stay. I'm homeless right now. So, 100% of recruiters going to tell you, hey, when you get the MEPS, if you have something, lie about it. I mean, that's just the truth. But everything else he pretty much said in this video is true.
Thing when you get to MEPS. Whether it's asthma, mental health history, having flat feet, most recruiters are just gonna feed you BS just to make it sound good. There's the whole joke about like, oh yeah, my recruiter told me that I was gonna get a Camaro whenever I win it. Yeah, like they will tell you anything. Best advice I can give with this is honestly talk to young people, people that are gonna be your rank, people who are in currently now, and just ask them overall, how do they like it? The biggest thing with the Army and military in general is that everybody's experience is different. Me and Billy went to the same basic, the same AIT, the same everything. He hates it. I love it. Why? Because there's just small differences. There's little things that happen. So you got to get overall opinions from everybody. Army recruiters are.
I definitely agree with him when he said that. You guys have the advantage now that you can go on social media, you can reach out to recruiters, you can reach out to people who are already in, and you can ask them about their experiences. When I joined in 2004, social media wasn't even around. One of the things that I would tell people to do, and I used to tell people to do this when I was a recruiter, is if you have a local recruiting station close by, look at their reviews. Because, for example, right, whenever I want to go somewhere out to eat with my wife or my boys, my family together, I go to Yelp, I go to Google, I look at the reviews before I go, and I see, okay, well, this restaurant has like good burritos, or this restaurant, their food is always cold. You want to see the reviews of the recruiters. Therefore, if one particular recruiter has a lot of good reviews, then when you walk into a recruiting station, you should ask for that person. Because majority of the time, if you walk into the recruiting station and you don't have a recruiter, a lot of times you probably gonna get the worst recruiter. Because the worst recruiter a lot of times don't have no one. So I know a lot of recruiting stations, they have like a walk-in list or whatnot, but you want to be prepared. Like you going in there and asking for a particular recruiter will show recruiters like, okay, this person's on their shit pretty much, like they know what they want. They took the time to research a recruiter. So let's go to the next video.
Me out. Mind you, my recruiter was fine shit, so everything she was telling me was making it a lot more better just because her face looked good. But amongst that, she told me I couldn't get a damn bonus. But how she went about telling me I couldn't get a bonus is. So I didn't have a car at the time, and she made every effort possible to make sure that I knew, that she knew, that I knew, that she was putting in every effort possible to get me in. This came with Raising Cane's, Chick-fil-A, $5 biggie bags from Wendy's, just hitting the vape. She didn't give a fuck what I did, bro. She made it so comfortable for me to the point where she threw in that I couldn't get a bonus. I wasn't even giving a fuck about that because you just made this a great experience. The recruiting experience for me was cool.
So his story is funny, but that's the mistake that he made. He seemed like his main objective was to get a bonus, and he let his recruiter's looks get into the way of him getting a bonus. Now, I don't know what he scored on the ASVAB test, because a lot of times that dictates if you get a bonus or not. What I would recommend to applicants or people that are looking to join the military, no matter what branch you go into, when you talk to your recruiter, they have the screen of what jobs you qualify for. You could say, hey, sir, hey, ma'am, or sergeant, whoever, hey, can I see what jobs I qualify for? Like when I was a recruiter, one of the best things I like to do is show people what jobs they qualify for, because now they're able to see in the computer like, hey, well, if I take a 3-year contract, I don't get no bonus, but if I do like a 5-year contract, I get like $10,000 bonus. Or if I do infantry, I might get a $50,000 bonus, but I'm gonna do 6 years. So there's a lot of variables when it comes to the bonuses. And honestly, what I would normally tell people is when you take the ASVAB test, try to score like a 50 and above, because you score like a 50 and above, then you consider like top tier. You consider like a grad alpha. So in his situation, he let the recruiter's looks get in his way, and that's why he didn't get no bonus. And that's why he's on TikTok now complaining about it.
So I began to ask her, yo, I seen the bonus thing on the window. I seen the flyer, 30K, 20K, whatever it was at the time, but I seen the flyer. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm joining.
Excuse me. But yeah, like if you see on the window of the recruiting section, hey, that's a bonus for like $30,000. That's the way for them to get you in. It's like a car dealership. Like they'll say, hey, zero payment for 2 months, or interest rates is like 0% for like a month or so. That's their way to get you in. But at the same time, there are a lot of variables, because yeah, some jobs might could get you that $30,000 bonus. Most of those jobs are people that are doing like combat. You know what I mean? It really just depends on what you're trying to do. Again, if money, if getting a bonus is like your main objective, then stick to that objective and don't let nobody talk you out of getting a bonus.
I'm gonna get that exact thing that's on the window. But she begins to explain to me, the military's not giving out bonuses right now. They don't have the money. That's when I knew this shit was a scam. This motherfucker was lying. But once again, I'm so mesmerized with the fine shit spending money on me, that I'm like, I don't give a fuck about the bonus. I'm on you. Mind you, this is all at the time of me being recruited. So my dumb ass signs that motherfucking paper without getting an incentive on top of that. And I'm beginning to realize that when I got like AIT and I started talking to people, and all these motherfuckers had bonuses. 20, 30,000, National Guard too. Active duty, everybody got bonuses. What the fuck is mine? So recruiter, if you ever seen this, I'm gonna need to throw the ones. I don't give a fuck how you look. You gonna have to give me them bitches.
Now I feel bad for him because he didn't get a bonus. But again, I don't know what he scored on the ASVAB test. I don't know what moment in the season he joined, like the time of year, because sometimes bonuses do go out. They freeze up because the military got to get their budget. So I don't know, but it seems like to me he was so caught up in his recruiter. The recruiter knew that, and she was able to get him in. And hey, she did her job. And at the end of the day, he's in. But hopefully he at least got promoted on top of that. I mean, I don't know. All right, this is gonna be the last video, and this is like my favorite video right here.
This contract is a 4-year contract, starting off as an A1C. It's mad disrespectful to tell somebody or one of your applicants as a recruiter that I'm capping. And I literally got the contract on me that says A1C 4 years. I know a bunch of other people here that's A1C for 4 years. Now, I'm not going to tell you how to do.
Now, I don't know what A1C is. I was in the Army. I probably should have researched it before I did a video. I don't know what A1C is. One thing I will tell you in the Army is that you can get promoted beforehand. A lot of times what I would do, depending on the applicant and how hard they would try to give me referrals, if they couldn't find me like a referral to make it to like E2, then a lot of times I will put somebody in that already joined. So let's say, for example, Jim joins on Monday. He joined last Monday, right? And then I got Suzanne that joined this Friday. So for Jim, I would use Suzanne as the referral. Therefore, it could show like, hey, he gave me Susan, even though in reality he didn't give me Susan. But he gets that referral, and that'll give him E2. And then, like, if you do the future soldier training and you pass the OPAT, which you're going to pass the OPAT, but you do the future soldier training, which is like what you have to do online, that'll get you E3. A lot of times too, if you did like ROTC, depending on how many years you did, that'll get you promoted. If you have an associate's degree, that'll get you E3. You have a bachelor's degree, that'll get you E4. But you got to know those things beforehand, and that's why I'm going to start making videos like this. But he's right. I mean, a A1C to me, it might seem like an E3. I don't know, but essentially, if he say he got it and he got the contract, then why would a recruiter lie to his applicant? Oh, that person's capping. No, at the end of the day, he got it. You know, his recruiter looked out for him. I don't know what he did to get A1C, but he got it.
Your job or not. That's not why I'm here. But if I know something to be true and I got that paper on me and you were to go out there and say, oh, he's lying, he's capping, tell your future applicants that I'm lying, and there's multiple other people that can vouch they got the same exact contract as me, you're going to lose a lot of credibility dealing with somebody like me. You're going to lose a lot. Now, I say this to tell all y'all, don't go out there and try to beat your recruiter, whatever. Come after your recruiter and be like, yeah, you're such a liar, X, Y, and Z. No, not all recruiters be lying. Not all recruiters play that game. But some of y'all out there know for a fact that what I'm saying is true and you're telling your applicants is not true. And your applicants are going to find out either way. Because once they sign that dotted line and they get into the real operation, start talking to people, they're going to start realizing that you screwed them over. Get it?
And honestly, I know I've been laughing. This is the saddest part of the recruiting process because a lot of people go in as E1s, they get the basic training, and then they start talking to people like, hey, man, how did you get E2? How did you get E3? And they're like, hey, man, bro, my recruiter told me this. And then now the person that's a fuzzy is like, damn, my recruiter didn't tell me nothing. He just got me in. She didn't contact me after I signed my contract. So, again, you want to know these things beforehand. Like, as soon as you sign that contract, you want to pay attention to the future soldier process. You want to pay attention to the ways you can get promoted because you don't want to go in as a fuzzy. Like, I came in as an E3. My recruiter looked out for me. There were certain things I was supposed to do. I just didn't have time to do it because I live 5 hours away from my recruiting station. Mind you, I had a job corps when I met my recruiter. So leaving Job Corps, I went back to my hometown, same state, but I was like 4 or 5 hours away. But my recruiter, he promised me, hey, I'm gonna get you E3. I got to basic training, reception, and guess what? I was in E3. So you want to make sure you tie all loose ends up before you ship out to basic training.
Recruiting is business. I get it. And business is business. But the one thing about me and my page, I'm not going to go out there and lie to anybody. And I don't expect you to do the same. Because if you don't know it or not, they're running to people like us on the internet. They're finding out information. You may think, oh yeah, I'm getting away with this white lie. I'm getting away with a lie. You're not getting away with anything. People going to go tell other people that you're not a credible recruiter. I'm sorry, not sorry. And that's why a lot of y'all do not have applicants coming to your door.
He is exactly right. That's why a lot of recruiters don't have applicants because their name, their credibility is shot. Um, a lot of times for me, that's why I put in like 70 people when I was recruiting in Tampa and Wesley Chapel because a lot of people like the way that I recruited. They like the way that I took care of them. They influencers like the way that I spoke to them. So I was able to get advocates fairly easy. But you just have some recruiters that just be lying for no reason. And I be looking at them like, damn, man, like, you know that person could get promoted, but they just don't want to do the additional paperwork. And honestly, recruiting could be a dirty game. So my best advice to you guys is to watch my videos for one, but do your research. Do your research. Find out what your main objective is. Find out your why on when you why you want to join, and then everything will be fine. But I just wanted to talk to you guys about recruiters. Like I said, I was a prior recruiter, so I know the deal. I appreciate you guys like always. Welcome to Chase the Narrative with AJ. If you like my content, please subscribe. Please like my video. Peace.